Hello, this is Grant. Welcome to Dead Rising 1 Master Run. So, what we're going to do is on our way back, we're going to pick up the two lovers in Wonderland Plaza and head straight to the shortcut and turn in the medicine as well as securing them. These guys actually gave me a surprising amount of trouble the first time I had attempted this, but they're nothing too bad. It's really just a time issue on day 2, where there's a lot of stuff you need to get done. You can't do them all concurrently. So, any way we can speed this up is going to be immensely helpful down the line. There's actually 2 ways you can complete this. Ross, the guy, is going to be asking for a handgun, which if you give, he'll kill himself, and then the survivor will refuse to join you. His wife, that is. Really, there's no reason to do that. You do get to do a pretty good photo opportunity when he kills himself, but you get more for saving them. I'd say do it if you've never seen it before. It's kind of neat. I don't think I've ever actually done it. I can't recall what it looks like. But they're pretty easy to save. As long as you just talk to them again without a handgun, you can just save them both. Plus you get to carry Ross, so it makes them pretty easy. I'm trying to use up the machine gun at this point because 18 shots left, but it's so satisfying to use. Main issue is they just have a kind of a long dialogue. It's weird if you don't get here in time, you'll come in and they're supposed to be dead on the ground. I don't know what exactly killed them. I wish they had some kind of dynamics groups or survivors, like groups maybe that didn't join you but still moved around the mall independently of what you were doing. Like they could have easily done something like that with the cult where they would just show up and be doing something and you could prevent it or not. But it still moves independently of what you do. I don't quite know what she expects here. Like, oh, is he going to be alright? I'm just a reporter. I thought about doing a thing with a run where I would have all the dialogue, but really, since it's a race against time, it turned out not to be the best option, so I'll try to get through these as much as possible, or I'll avoid talking to certain people just because I know I'm not there to hear it, or I don't have time.
No way.
I wonder what lines they have recorded for each survivor, because I know they have generic, like, no way, yeah, can't do that, cheering. Most of it's probably not used, but you can trigger it in different ways. Particularly if you go back and see them in the security room, which is something I don't think anyone really does, because they don't do anything, they just sit there. It'd be nice if there was like at least a mini game. Like in 2, you can go play poker with them for some money and to unlock an outfit. I actually really like the poker in 2. I think I might actually do Dead Rising 2 next, depending on how fast I can finish this and get it worked out. I also have to just, basically before I can say whether or not I'm going to do it, I have to see if it's possible. For all I know, you might not have enough time. I'm not nearly as familiar with Dead Rising 2 as 1. Particularly I'm worried about, like, there's one day where there's 4 or so survivors that want you to play poker. And it takes a long time, because you got to get them all out. And poker sucks once you just get down to 2 people with a bunch of cash, and you're just kind of waiting for the ante or the blind to push someone out. So it might just be, well, hopefully you have to get through that fast enough that you still have time to do everything else. I don't know, we'll see. I wasn't planning on doing it originally, but I'm actually going to have a chance to play some Dead Rising 3, hopefully. In which case, it'd be weird to have a Dead Rising 1 and a Dead Rising 2 runs, but not... I mean, have 1 and 3 runs, but not 2. Assumedly, I can do 1 for 3. Like, I think I can do it for 2, but... if I can't, it's much better I figure it out now than once I already start doing videos.
You're so kind.
There's that hunk of meat item. It's kind of neat. It's basically in the same vein as the mask items where you can give it to a zombie and they'll pacify them. I also believe you can throw it and the zombies will be lured towards it. It seems something like that might be really useful. I've never personally used it for anything other than just a joke. Because the main way you use it is you shove it in their mouth and they're fine. But I don't know, if it was a really strong aggro when you threw it, could be kind of useful to get zombies away from survivors or something. It's a queen. I actually play this game for a while. You can kind of pick out where the queens are because they have a very specific animation where they're like trying to scratch their neck, and the goal is like to look out and find one. I don't use queens as much as I probably should, just because we're low on inventory space. When you're a higher level, it's really nice to always carry one on you, especially when you're escorting survivors. Because survivors, they stall too much, and once one zombie's on them, they're screwed because they can't get out. So it's always good to give them a gun. Even if it's something simple like a handgun, just find one, give it to them. And then they can usually take care of themselves. I have to complain about the queens. So they drop those grubs from the zombies when you kill them. And the grubs can attack you. Now, it doesn't do any damage, or at least such a minuscule amount that it's not going to affect you. But it does make you stumble, which is the big issue. Because if you're carrying like a heavy weapon, say a chainsaw or a cart or something weird, each one of those will make you drop it. I think that also counts survivors too. It's like if you're carrying a survivor and you stumble, it knocks you over and you have to pick him up again, and you're basically forced to either go around killing the grubs or just wait it out, because they fade after a little while. I'm really excited to be able to do day 3 in overtime mode. Overtime mode's like a rare occurrence, because normally I wouldn't play that far in the game that often. I'm excited. Like, there's some stuff I probably have only been through once or twice, ever. Like that fight against Brock, and going through the sewers. I'm really excited. I can't wait to be able to play that, just because going through it now with like the level of understanding I have, it's gonna be weird. I also just really want to mess around. I originally had hoped that we'd be level 50 by the time we beat that, but I don't know how successful we're gonna be. I believe that's for the coward scoop. Yeah. That voice does not suit him. What will his wife think when she sees him making out with another woman? Who cares if she's a zombie? Usually I thought Tanya was a little bit better about taking care of herself, which is why I just run out here. I should have had a shotgun and given her that. It would have helped a lot more. I always liked how the warehouse is nice and small, so you can go ahead and clear out all the zombies. It's so satisfying walking into the elevator with a small chainsaw. God, it takes me back when I had the only thing I knew about was just the elevator on the top of the warehouse. Like how I didn't know about that other side entrance, which is really cool. I love games that do that kind of stuff. That once you kind of play for more, you get better, but there's also stuff that you just find to make things simpler. Like, I don't want it to be behind some arbitrary wall where it's like you have to beat the game 3 times and then you get the shortcut open up. I mean, I'd be okay with that, but it wouldn't be ideal. Like, I know a great example of this is anytime I play like an Elder Scrolls game, like a Skyrim or Oblivion. Oblivion was particularly bad because you had to always, like, every time you made a new character, you have a list of things you have to do, like do A, B, C, D. And after a while, it's like, I know, like, oh yeah, I know this dude is the one that's been killing everyone and putting them in soul gems. Just let me like have a way to skip it, where if you know the outcome, maybe you can go, if it's like a mystery quest, you can go straight to the ending and be like, oh, here's the evidence. So